Annie prided herself on her discipline. Her life was a perfectly ordered spreadsheet. Wake up at 6 a.m., gym by 6:30 a.m., work at 8 a.m. sharp. Every minute accounted for, every expense logged. At the bank, she was the picture of efficiency. Her colleagues admired her, her superiors trusted her. Ani believed in control, in order, in predictability. Her husband Raj was a gentle, trusting soul. He relied on Ani to manage their finances, a responsibility she shouldered with a firm hand. They had dreams, of course, a bigger house, vacations abroad, but Ani insisted on saving responsibly. She believed in earning those rewards, not chasing fleeting pleasures. Slow and steady wins the race, she would say, her voice laced with the certainty that had always defined her. Then came the app. Ani downloaded the app. It wasn't a decision, not really, more like a reflex, a momentary lapse in judgment. She justified it as mere curiosity. She just wanted to see what all the fuss was about, she told herself. Just a peek behind the curtain. The app was designed to be alluring. Bright lights flashed across the screen, accompanied by the clanging sounds of simulated slot machines. A roulette wheel spun invitingly. She deposited a small amount, just 500 rupees, the equivalent of a week's worth of coffee. It felt insignificant, almost meaningless. She chose a slot machine, its theme a dizzying array of flashing lights and cartoon fruits. She pressed the button and watched as the digital reels spun. A rush of adrenaline shot through her as they came to a stop. She had won. It wasn't much, just a few hundred rupees, but it was enough. The seed of curiosity had blossomed into a delicate flower of excitement. Annie started small, placing bets during her commute, during lunch breaks, late at night when sleep eluded her. She told herself it was harmless fun, a way to unwind after a long day. The wins, though infrequent, fueled her. Each win, no matter how small, was a validation, a shot of dopamine straight to her reward center. The losses, she brushed aside. They were just part of the game, she reasoned, the price of entry to the intoxicating world of risk and reward. The wins, however, were getting bigger. One night she turned 1,000 rupees into 10,000. The rush was intoxicating. Ani felt invincible, like she had tapped into a secret current of luck. She imagined paying off their small debts, surprising Raj with a luxurious vacation. The dreams that had once seemed so distant now felt tantalizingly close. The line between harmless fun and obsession blurred. Soon, Ani was gambling every chance she got. The initial thrill of winning morphed into a desperate need to chase losses. The more she lost, the more she felt compelled to win it back. Her disciplined life, once her pride, began to crumble. Sleep became elusive, her mind racing with numbers, odds, and the crushing weight of her secret. The spreadsheet of her life, once so meticulously maintained, was now filled with holes, the missing entries representing the growing chasm of her debt. The guilt and shame gnawed at her. This wasn't her. She was Ani, the responsible one, the rock of her family. Yet here she was, lying to the one person she loved most in the world. She became a master of deception, hiding bank statements, fabricating excuses for her erratic behavior, her smiles becoming increasingly strained. The weight of her secret grew heavier with each passing day, threatening to crush her under its immense pressure. The lies began small, almost insignificant white lies. Annie found herself making excuses to Raj, claiming work dinners or late-night projects to explain her increasing absence. She withdrew from social gatherings, her anxiety a constant companion. Her phone, once a tool for communication, became an instrument of her destruction, a direct line to the insatiable beast of her addiction. The shame was suffocating. Annie, who had always prided herself on her honesty and integrity, was now living a double life. The woman she projected to the world, the efficient bank employee, the loving wife, was a facade, a carefully constructed mask hiding the turmoil that raged within. But the more Ani tried to claw her way back to the surface, the deeper she sank into the quicksand of her addiction. The guilt was a heavy cloak, suffocating her. How could she have been so foolish, so reckless? She had always looked down on people who gambled, seeing it as a weakness, a lack of control. Now she was one of them, trapped in a vicious cycle of her own making. The more she tried to justify her actions, the more she realized the futility of her excuses. She was in too deep, and the only way out seemed to be to keep digging, hoping to strike a vein of luck that would magically erase her mistakes.